Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. If somebody is a Vaishnava and he doesn't know what is Bhagavatam, if somebody is a Christian and he doesn't know what is a Bible, what will be his status as a Vaishnava and a Christian? So will be the status of a person who claims that he is a student of Vedanta, only thing he doesn't know Panchadashi. Like many times I go around the world and I had to take food. That is one of my professional regards. So they say, Swamiji, tomorrow you have to go to somebody's house for food. And they want to know, tomorrow being Ekadashi, do you observe Ekadashi? Then I also question, whose house is that? Is it the house of a Marwadi or a Gujarati? Then yes, I observe Ekadashi. If it is the house of a non-Marwadi and non-Gujarati, then I don't observe Ekadashi. Because interest is in eating, not in Ekadashi. So I, not being a Vaishnava, but being a Vedantin, I don't observe Ekadashi, I observe Panchadashi. Ekadashi 11, Panchadashi 15. Once, somewhere in the place I was staying, they decided to paint the house. So I was watching, observing, because that is one of my hobby. Observe, learn and grow wise. So those people who were painting, they started scratching the walls. I said, hey, come on, you are paid for painting, not scratching the walls. So he looked at me, he said, oh, I know why you are a Swami now. Who doesn't know anything. Then he said, if there are loose patches of surface and you paint on that, it will fall down. And again there will be some ugly surface. Therefore, we assure that there is no loose patch anywhere on the surface of the wall. First, the wall is made firm and strong, and then only we can apply the color. If this is understood, in the same manner, if we think of walking the spiritual path, leaving many loose doubts in our mind, and then we sit for meditation. And in meditation there is no company. Unless you are a Westerner. A Westerner always sits for meditation with a soulmate, hand in hand, and they sit together. When the soul goes, the shoe remains. So it is by the one, do the one, all alone. There is nobody whom you can ask. And therefore, before we embark on our spiritual journey, it is necessary that we are left with zero doubts. No doubt about anything. What are the areas of doubtful understanding? Number one, who am I? Number two, what is the world? Number three, who is God? You know, Gujarati there is no God. Who is God? And the fourth misunderstanding is, what is the meaning of spiritual practice? Unless doubts in these four areas are erased completely, there is no possibility of abidance in the truth firmly. And therefore, it is necessary that we must have doubt-free knowledge. But now I don't have doubt. you may not be having doubt now, but the doubt may be somewhere down deep in your system. And therefore, we have to remove all those doubts. And this is what is the beauty. This is what is the beauty of this particular text. Panchadashi is attributed to Vidyadhara Swami and his Guru. And all possible doubts that a human mind can entertain are, scratched. And then those doubts are taken. And then they are analyzed. So that there is no doubt left in our mind. Doubt-free knowledge alone can get converted into wisdom. Doubtful knowledge gets converted into philosophy. Philosophy is an expression of frustration. And wisdom is an expression of joy. Gatasu nagatascha nanu shochanti panditaha. Wise people are never miserable. And philosophers are only miserable. What is philosophy? Delayed wisdom is philosophy. I don't know why did I get married. Delayed wisdom. That is what one of the great thinkers said. That every man should get married. If he gets a good wife, he is happy. If he gets a terrible one, he becomes a philosopher. So, we are not going to talk about philosophy. We are going to talk about clarity of understanding. And with that clarity, we don't have to struggle thereafter. See? Now, the next topic. We all want to know everything about the whole world. We go on the Facebook, de-Facebook. We go on the Twitter and the roar. We go on the email and the emotional blackmail. Everywhere we go and we want to know everything. But what is happening inside the bonnet? See? When we come in contact, how the knowledge takes place, what is the difference between the knowledge, wisdom and the dents and damage to the mind. All these things are worthy of knowing. And once this is known, then we will come to know that most of the time when we interact with the world, we do not gather wisdom, but we gather impressions. And those impressions go on accumulating to such a depth that thereafter our life is not that of the wisdom and understanding, but that of the obsession and frustration. And it is here we have to look within with a proper understanding. And it is for this purpose we will be studying the third chapter of Panchadashi. In this book, one of the most wonderful books, in this book, the teacher has taken the most popular expression, Satchit Ananda, and analyzed further. The first 5 chapters of the 15 chapters deal with the Sat, the existence only. What exactly we mean by existence? The second 5 chapters from 6 to 10 deal with what we mean by Chit or consciousness. And the last 3 chapters talk about Ananda or bliss. What exactly it means. And after having told this, then how do we proceed to come to recognize the pure existence that we are, the pure knowledge that we are, the pure bliss that we are. In this manner, this book is divided into 3 parts. 555, dealing with Satchit Ananda. The first chapter 10 in this book is about the Tattva, the truth. What exactly we mean by the reality. Then the second chapter talks about the 5 great elements of this world is made up of. And what is the position? And what is our understanding? Our understanding is absolutely upside down understanding. Like what? When we go to the jeweler, we ask him, is there gold in this ornament or no gold? So our attention is on the name and the form, Nama Rupa, and in that name and the form we want to see the gold. But what is the truth? The truth is, ornament is in the gold, gold is not in the ornament. See, if you can digest this, then you can go a little further. When we melt an ornament, name and the form disappears, gold continues to be. So on the gold, the name and the form is superimposed, and then it is called as an ornament. So what is the truth? The truth is, gold is not in the ornament, but the ornament is in the gold. See, friends. Now the same thing. We imagine we are inside the body. And this is how the world begins, with an illusion of in and out experience. So I am inside, everything is outside. And this is how I versus you Jugalbandi begins. The whole life is only this. But the truth is, I is not in the body. The body is in the I. See, completely upside down understanding. And this wrong understanding is taken by us as the foundation of living a happy life. It can never be. If we live as an ornament, there will be always a fear of changing the name and form. But if we live as gold, who cares what name and what form is given to us? It is for this purpose that we study Panchadashi. It is not meant for those who are carrying the burden of Swamiji, mera ladka shaadi nahi karta. What should I do? You get married once more if you are so much interested. In this marriage, those who are cranky, lost in this wretched world, and they have nothing beyond their microscopic, myopic vision. They don't want to go beyond it. They cannot study Panchadashi. There is no quota system on the spiritual path. Like we are trained to live in quota. And when we put the quota stones on the ceiling, you can imagine what happens. In the same manner, we come across this quota approach from the grahasthas. So, you are a sannyasi, it's okay for you, we are grahasthas, very difficult for us. So there should be quota for the grahasthas for realization. 90% quota for the grahasthas for realization. So let us be very clear about it. We have to work hard. One place I read a very beautiful sentence. Study properly and hard. Get marks free. True it is. Without study, getting mark is not possible. So, after having told what this world is through discrimination, the third chapter which we will study in detail is dealing with our total makeup, what we are made up of. And is called as Panchakosha Vivek. Panchakosha Viveka, we think that we are only body, and that too only the skin. See? So whole life is spent only in makeup to cover the breakup. But below that skin, there is lot of film. And once we come to recognize what our essential nature is, thereafter we will no more live as the body, but we will start living through the body. We will no more live as the mind, but we will start living through the mind. We will no more live as an ignorant, but we will function through the ignorance as the wise. It is for this purpose we have to study exhaustively, deeply. So the first chapter begins, the first verse begins of the third chapter. Next time, maybe after this lecture is over, there may be books outside, you can go and buy. And from next tomorrow onward, check whether I read properly or not. Guhahitam brahma yattat panchakosha vivekatah bodhum shakyam tatat kosha panchakam pravivichyate. Guhahitam brahma, as said in Taittiriya Upanishad. Satyam jnanamanantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parameyo manna so shnute sarvan kaman sa brahmana vipaschiteti. In the second Brahmananda Valli, this particular topic comes. That Guha, Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhaya. This Paramatma, called as Brahma, Brahma is a technical term. Brahma does not mean God, etc. Brahma means that which is all inclusive, Bruhatvan Brahma. There is nothing bigger than this, therefore infinite. And infinities are never more than one. There is nothing like infinite plus minus something is equal to infinite plus minus something, no. It continues to be infinite, therefore that which cannot be improved upon and therefore that which is not subjected to damage is called as the reality. So this Paramatma, this Brahman, Guhahitam, it is hidden in the Guha. Normally this word Guha means cave is understood as Guha means in the intellect. But here it is very clearly mentioned Guha does not mean only the intellect. But the 5 layers which we are supporting. They will be telling one by one, we will take that time. So, unless we enter this Guha and discover the truth, we will be only running around in this world. And therefore, when this word Guha is not properly understood, what we do? There was one student who came to me after many years of running around. Suddenly he got this idea. He must have read some books, these great yogis running in the Himalayas, and then they sitting in the gufa, and then the Mahatma descended from the air, and beta, Rela Goja. So he must have read it somewhere. See? All those who step on the spiritual path have one way or the other, for some reason, definitely heard the name autobiography of a yogi. And then they get lost in that. And they also think should happen, and nothing happens except frustration. So such a student, he told me, Swami, I want to go to Himalayas and do meditation in a gufa, in a cave. So please bless me. I said, before you go to Himalayas, see, we are now in Lonavala. So nearby Lonavala, there are many mountains and there are beautiful caves. You can go and try there before you go to Himalaya. I said, I know certain temples there and the Pandit also. So I gave a sleep, go there. So Pandit said, yes, you can stay here. Nobody stays in this cave, you can stay for whole life. Evening, 5-6 o'clock, Panditji closed the temple, came down, and his Brahman was there, Ekameva Advitiya Dehanana Kinchara. And in that cave, in that gufa, then the problem started coming up. There is no light, there is no attached bathroom, there are no curtains, there is no window, and there are plenty of mosquitoes and all kinds of things, imagination, and there. Oh God, if I had to go out for toilet also, where will I go? I can't see. Maybe I will go Jadgatva Nanivartante. And within half an hour he came down. Next day he told me, Hamaji, it was so dark and so many mosquitoes and so difficult, you know. I said, therefore, don't go to the Himalaya and move on. Then, but many Mahatmas said, we can do that also, not a big problem. Go to your house, wherever you stay. Outside put a plate, name plate, gufa. Read it, arrange. It is only in the mind. Don't we do? We construct a big house palace and write it, you know, Paranakuti. Is it a Paranakuti? You don't get a, pan khane ka Paranakuti. It is only in the mind, friends. The gufa is not somewhere outside in the mountain. Gufa is these Panchakoshas. And when we analyze, discriminate, and recognize one of these 5 things, can we be or we are someone other than this? And therefore, here, Guha itam Brahma yat Panchakosha Vivekataha. When we will discriminate clearly, what is the Annamaya, Posh, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, and can we be one of them or we cannot be? If we cannot be that, then the question comes, then who am I? See, one intelligent student like any one of you in one of the IITs asked me this question after my lecture was over. He said, Swamiji, I have got a question. I said, keep, I don't need. He said, no, please answer. I said, okay, what is the question? The question is, who am I? Then I asked him, shall I tell you the truth or bluff? He said, for a change, tell the truth. I said, all right, listen, you are a fool of the first order. Then he said, do you mean Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi was a fool? Because he asked this question. And be cool first of all. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi did not ask me this question. You asked me this question. Then I told him, my dear friend, till such time you accept you are a body, you can never have this question. As a body, I cannot have a question, who am I? I am a man, I am a woman, I am young, I am old, I am beautiful, I am awful. Where is the problem? This question is invalid. Who am I? See, that is why by reading books you can never get the knowledge. Our scripture says, Shravan, you have to listen. See, reading book means a printed material has got many limitations. The author has to write within the limitation of the space. One lecture that I give you, if it is written, it becomes about 17 to 18 A4 pages. How much it is? And you read 17 to 18 A4 pages, you will not get even 1% understanding. Because there, first of all, you have to struggle to lift the knowledge from the matter into your grey matter. And after it goes into the grey matter, whether you are able to interact properly or you react acutely. So many problems come. Therefore, Shravan, we have to listen. Simply reading books can never take you anywhere. is not a novel that you can go on imagining. Therefore, in Kathopanishad, it is said, Ascharyo Vakta Kushalosya Labdha Ascharyo Jnata Kushala. It is a wonder of wonder that the teacher who is talking about that which is beyond the scope of words, and much more wonderful is the situation where the disciple understands although it can never be understood. Acharya. Therefore, here Panchakosha Vivekataha. Viveka is discrimination. See, the discrimination in Sankhya is Jada Chetana Viveka. I am the consciousness, the world is inert. This is one kind of discrimination. The gross discrimination is called as Tila Tandula Nyaya. That means a boy was sent by his mother to get the sesame seeds and the rice. So he got them in a paper bag, put them together in another bag, put on a bicycle, came. By the time he came home, paper bags broke and rice and the sesame seeds, they got mixed up. The mother said, you made a mess, now separate them. So he has to separate the seeds and the rice grains. Now here in Vedanta Shastra, discrimination is between existence and non-existence. Be very attentive. How can you discriminate between existence and non-existence? Non-existence is not existing. How can you discriminate? Like in case of the Tila Tandula, in case of the rice, grains and the sesame seeds, there are two things, you can separate them. But when you are told the discrimination between the existence and non-existence, how it is possible? What does it mean? It means existence alone is and non-existence never is. Na sato vidyate bhavaha na bhavo vidyate sata. Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. That which is alone is. That which is not can never be. What a philosophy. But this is the truth. But then the third stage. The third stage is, although it is not, yet it appears. That which is not, yet it appears, is called as an illusion. So we are never miserable because we don't know anything. We are never miserable because we know everything. We are miserable when we think we know. And there from the beginning of our samsara is initiated. Therefore, guhahitam brahma panchakosha vivekatah bodhum shakyam. One will be able to discover bodha and jnanam. These are the two words which are used in our scriptures. Jnanam is through the agency of mind. Like, I can't give example that you are hearing me, but I can give example you are seeing me. Hearing or not, who knows? So, you are seeing me. Now, if your mind is not behind your eyes, you will not be able to see me. It happens many times. When we go somewhere, the other person goes in front of us, but our mind is preoccupied somewhere, and then he says, see, that time I came, you didn't wish to. And when I say hello, you didn't even respond. Oh, I am so sorry, my mind was running somewhere here and there. See? So the knowledge gathered through the agency of sense organs and the mind is called as jnanam. And the knowledge gathered without the agency of the sense organs and the mind as a direct, immediate experience is called as bodha. Bodha is experience. So our presence, do any one of us have any doubt whether we are there or not? Our presence is recognized by us without the help of the sense organs. Can we say, okay, I can see myself? No. I can smell my presence. Very dirty smell. We recognize our presence without the sense organs, without the mind, without the intellect. That experience is called as bodha. Therefore, there is a difference between Atma Jnanam and Atma Bodha. So, Tattva Jnanam and Tattva Bodha. So, Bodhum Shakyam Tataha, therefore, Kosha Panchakam Vivichyate. And it is for this purpose that we are conducting the inquiry and discrimination of these Panchakoshas. So, what is the purpose? Purpose is not telling people. Do you know Panchakosha? When the students learn for the first time a little bit of these Panchakoshas, and then there is one process called as grossification of the elements. It's called as Panchikaran. And they think this is all in Vedanta. Anybody coming and asking any question, which way the road goes to the Shivananda ashram? Look here. See, there are Panchakoshas. Shivananda ashram and Panchakoshas. This is what I know. And undigested knowledge comes out the wrong way. Like the undigested food comes out. Therefore, this knowledge is not meant for telling others. The basic difference between study of Vedanta by the seeker and by the professor is this. A professor learns to teach the students and he remains untouched by the knowledge. But the seeker is the one who is studying it for applying on himself. So let us protect ourselves from ourselves. When you go home, don't have to tell your wife, do you know aaj kya sikha hai? Don't do that. Spare her. Therefore, bodhum shakyam tataha kosha panchakam vivichyate. So it is for recognition of our essential nature that we are going to study. Now it begins one by one. Dehadabhyantara pranaha, pranadabhyantaram manaha, tatakkarta tato bhokta, guhaseyam parampara. So the 5 things are said. First, deha, the gross body. What is called as annamaya. Then comes pranaha, the vital air, because of which life is sustained in the body. Then manaha, the mind. Then tataha karta, thereafter the sense of doership, I the doer. And the last one, bhokta, I the enjoyer. These are the 5 layers behind which the absolute reality is hidden. See, in Vedanta Shastra, the Mahavakya Upadesh, the instruction through the great statement is one of the most important topics. And the statement which is elaborately discussed is Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi means, Tat means that, Tvam means you, Asi means you are that. And in that, the technical term used is Pada Shodhanam. Shodhanam, Pada means the words. So Tat Pada Shodhanam. Then Tvam Pada Shodhanam. And Asi Pada Shodhanam. So when we say Tat Pada Shodhanam, we are seeking Tat, that. When the same word is used, Tvam Pada Shodhanam, you or the I. Here Shodhanam does not mean seek. Shodhanam means purification. So with reference to our individuality, the Vedanta talks about purification of the self and removing the burden of the Panchakoshas. And Tatpada Shodhana means living in an atmosphere of dedication and devotion and surrender to the divine will, then only we can go beyond the Tatpada. And then when these two things go parallel, so what is the thing? With ourselves, we apply Vedanta knowledge. With the world, when we are dealing with the world, we apply the path of devotion. See? Normally what we do, with the world, it is Vedanta. With ourselves, it is devotion. When somebody had a heart problem, heart attack, so when I went there, I said, hey, congratulations. He was surprised. Congratulations, I got a heart attack. He said, because you have a heart, therefore you have a heart attack. He got very disgusted. After 2-3 months, he came to meet me after his operation, everything was over. And those days I used to get migraine, half a day. And it's a very painful affair. So I was tossing on my bed. I said, hey, look here, after 2-3 hours you come, I am dying of my migraine. Please go away. He said, Swamiji, I will not go. Congratulations. He had a headache because he had a head. Do you remember? This is what you told me when I had a heart attack. I said, look here, you understand, heart was yours. Head is mine. So we apply devotion to ourselves and Vedanta on others. No. The spiritual practice is you discard the limitations of your Panchakoshas and recognize the divinity in and through pulsating. That is called as the Vedantic sadhana. See? When it comes to our own body, Atyanta malino deha, dehi chatyanta nirmalaha, asangohamiti jnatva, shauchametat prachakshate. The body is filthy, dirty. The embodied is the divine. Recognize this divinity as your essential self. This is application of Vedanta on yourself. Application of devotion in the world. Deho devalaya proktaha, dehi devo niranjanaha, architaha sarva bhavena, swanubhutya virajate. Every one is a mobile temple of God. And in that mobile temple of God, the installed is the divine principle. And thus, architaha sarva bhavena, we worship, revere, respect everything and being in this world. When we start doing this, Swanabhutya virajate, we come to recognize the divinity which is supporting the limitations of Panchakoshas is the same, which is expressing through the multiplicity around us. This is together called as the spiritual practice. See? Instead of this, our spiritual practice is Ganti Bajao, and get limited only to that. Unless we dig within, we will never be able to recognize that. Therefore, these are the stages. Deha, Abhyantara, Pranaha, subtler. Antara means 3 words. In Kathopanishad, this thought comes. Subtler than the sense organs is the object. Subtler than the object is the mind. Subtler than the mind is the intellect. Subtler than the intellect is the consciousness. So subtler means nearer. Subtler means a support. Subtler means more pervasive. 3 words. Now take this example definition. Deha, in comparison to the body, gross body, pranaha, abhyantaraha, the prana is nearer to us. So the prana is nearer to us than the body, and the prana is supporting the body. Therefore, the prana is not in the body, but the body is in the prana. Because prana is the support. Support is always more pervasive and nearer to our essential nature. So prana, deha, abhyantara prana, prana, abhyantara manaha. Then next step, subtler than the prana is the mind, nearer than the prana is the mind, and mind includes the prana. Therefore, now take this example. In the container of the prana is the pumpkin of the body. In the container of the mind is the pumpkin of the body and the shell of the prana. And then further it is said, tataha karta. Then subtler than the mind is the vijnanamaya kosha, where the notion of doership exists, karta. Therefore, in the container of the doership, the I, is the mind and the prana and the body. Therefore, I is bigger than the three. So what is our understanding? I am inside the body. But the truth is, in the I, everything exists. And therefore, where there is no I, we are not interested. When somebody talks about his own child or her own child, my son, is so intelligent, although he is hardly 3 years, and yet he understands everything. So when that mother or father is talking about, do you think other mother, father will keep quiet? ये कुछ भी नहीं, मेरा बच्चा है भी नहीं, फिर understand करता है. Now why? Because where I is not there, I am not interested. See, this is how old people have got only I. They have got only the past, they have no future. And youngsters have got all the future. So what do old people do? They talk only about their past. And the younger people are frustrated. Ab ban karo na papa, you told this 398 million times. Same thing again and again. How long? Yes, during your childhood you had no shoes, therefore you used to go nanga paya to the school. We know that now by heart. And you were very poor. Those days the pants were inherited from the eldest brother to the youngest brother. We know that now. And at times you used to go without pants to the school, that also we know. But how long you are going to talk about it? But when these elderly people like me, when they start talking about their past, how much enchanted and inspired they become. Because I is there. I was in Calcutta recently. One old man, somebody's house I went. So how many where from you are coming? I said, I am coming now from Vrindavan. I was in Vrindavan before I came here. Oh, Vrindavan kitna badal gaya. How much it has changed, 40 years back when we used to be, it was totally different. I said, Babaji, please come. I took him near the sink where there is a mirror. I said, look into the mirror. 40 years before, I said, madam. What has not changed in this world? And what do we gain by this statement? What do we mean? World has changed. It has to change. Prakriti is that where Vikruti is guaranteed. Therefore, this I is including all the remaining three, that is the Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha and the Annamaya Kosha. So, I is nearer than the mind, than the prana and the body. I is more pervasive than the three of them. I is the support of all the three of them. So now what should be our understanding? What is our understanding now? The mind, the intellect is inside the body. So the body is the container and the remaining four are inside the body. This is our understanding, is it not? But what should be the right understanding? The body is in the prana. The body and prana, they are in the mind. And the three of them, they are in the eye. See? What a difference it will make. And once I know that I am in the car, or the car is in me, see the difference? If I am in the car, then anything happens to this car, scratch happens, oh God, recently purchased, but see what. But when I know I am not in the car is in me, kharab ho gayi, dusri lenge, what does it matter, you know? But we make a issue. Therefore, when the body is old, eye is old. When the body is man, eye is a man. And this is how our tragedy of samsara begins. Dehat abhyantara pranaha, pranat abhyantaram manaha, tataha karta. So four things we have seen. Body, prana, mind and intellect called as the doer. And the fifth, tataha bhokta. Bhokta is the Anandamaya Kosha, the experiencer of joy and sorrows. Sa iyam guha parampara. These are parampara means, para means superior, upper means lower. So the gross body is lower, prana is superior. Gross body and prana are lower, mind is superior. The three are lower, intellect, karta is superior. The three of them are lower and the bhokta is superior. And this is how our whole personality is made up of. And once this picture is very clear before us, then to that extent our understanding, our interactions with the world will go differently. So, what is all the spiritual practice? These are the five koshas. That is why Bhagavan has given us five fingers. This small finger, you equate it with your gross body. Then this ring finger, equate it with the prana. That is why, after marriage, the wedding ring is put here, which takes away your prana. In Bombay language, Veda means mad. Therefore, after marriage, wedding ring. I'll be mad हो जाए. So Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh. Then the middle finger is Manomaya Kosh, biggest of the five. Mind is the biggest problem for every one of us. And then this is Tarjani. Tarjani is called as Vijnanamaya Kosha or the Karta, the doer. Tarjani also means the threatening. So if you have to threaten somebody, which is the finger we use? Can we say, "Aisa marunga ki"? So he will say, "Acha ho." So Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh. When this I gets identified with the mind, so I becomes one with the mind. If there is the experience of joy, I is joyful. If there is an experience of sorrow, I is sorrowful. When this I gets identified with the Pranamaya Kosha, where there is hunger and thirst. So when this I gets identified with the Pranamaya Kosha, so the I becomes hungry, I becomes thirsty. And when this I becomes identified with the body, then I becomes man, I becomes woman. I becomes young, I becomes old. I becomes fat, I becomes thin. And when this I is no more identified with the three, as in deep sleep, that time this I is neither joyful or sorrowful, neither hungry or thirsty, nor man or woman. See? So who is living life? Not the body, not the prana, not the mind. Body is like a house. where we live. Prana is like the power in the house. And mind is like the phone or means of communication. And whose body, when I get identified with the body, my body. Whose hunger, my hunger. Whose sorrow, my sorrow. And this I thus starts carrying the load of these three identifications. And when you carry load of any kind, you get tired, is it not? And therefore, what the I does? He starts unloading disidentification. So disidentification from the joy and sorrows, mind is dropped. From the hunger and thirst, prana is dropped. The body's achievement or failure, young or old, that is dropped. So when this I disidentifies with all of them, he is neither man nor woman, neither hungry nor thirsty, nor joyful nor sorrowful. And that is why every one of us want to go to sleep even in the satsang. So those who sleep in the satsang, they are the real seekers of truth. Because they have disidentified from the three. In one of my lectures somewhere, two persons were next to each other. And there was one was a pillow and another was a Kumbhakarna. So this Kumbhakarna slept nicely. And pillow was there. So the pillow was getting so angry. So tried to move away so that Kumbhakarna can wake up. But Kumbhakarna cannot be disturbed. So he put the hand around the pillow, pulled it. After the lecture was over, Kumbhakarna Uvacha, he says, Swami, it was fantastic. Now what he said, only wise people can understand. You will think that he told about my lecture, but he meant sleep. It was fantastic, means the sleep was fantastic. So I said, thank you very much. He went away. Then the pillow started talking. Swami, when he saw he was sleeping, why didn't you wake him up? Because you put him to sleep. So I told him, look here, don't meditate, remain cool, listen. What for you have come here? For the lecture? For becoming miserable or for getting happiness? Of course I came for getting happiness, but as a stop there. You came for getting happiness. He got it. You are still struggling. See? Therefore, what should be the spiritual practice, tell me now? Disidentification from the body, disidentification from the prana, disidentification from the mind. That is the spiritual practice. Now tell me, you all have been walking spiritual path so many years. Have you thought in this life? Our spiritual practice is fulfillment of desires, nothing else. See? So we do exercise so the body should be healthy. We don't want to get out of this body identification. And what will you do with the healthy body? All the terrorists are healthy. Have you come across any terrorists coming with this spondylosis and a belt and only healthy body cannot be the goal of life. That cannot be the only thing that we seek in life. See? Therefore, when we practice this Panchakosha Viveka, but Viveka is practiced by understanding intellect. And for practicing this Viveka, we require an intelligence and not an intellectual faculty. See the difference I told you a number of times here? Intellectuals are intelligently miserable. And intelligent people are never miserable. If you are miserable and then you think that you will step on the spiritual path, it is only for removing of your miseries and not for seeking the truth. See, we don't seek God out of love. We seek God out of fear. See, like if you go to this NRI world, you know this NRI, one person told me in Australia, Swami, you people talk about so great, but our children, as much they know about Hinduism, your Indian children don't know. I said, look here, in India, spirituality goes through osmosis. They don't have to specially do. You conduct your class, let us sit down, Swami, Mata, Swami, we don't have to do that. It just happens. See? Therefore, their spirituality is born out of fear. Lest our children will go to some other religion, they will get married to some BMW and all kinds of things, you know. Therefore, they do not want it to happen. So out of fear, they hold on to the God. Friends, real spirituality must be born out of urgency, need and love. And it is possible only for one who is cheerful and happy. See, cheerful and happy means what? He who is living at a zero complaint level. No complaints. Imagine a person having a root canal, he sits for meditation. What will be his meditation? Sentimental. क्या हो रहा है meditation? A simple tooth pain will not allow you to be free from this preoccupation. And if we have got so many things associated with the body, the prana and the mind, how can we ever think about disidentification from the body, prana and the mind? Therefore, please understand, spiritual practice is not Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Athava Dhanam Jnana Vihina Sarvamatena Bhajatina Muktim Janmashatena. That is not spiritual practice. Similarly, Agrevanni Prushte Bhanu Ratro Chub Samarpita Janu, torturing the body, observing the fast. That is the reason why I don't observe the fast. Because when the people, those who observe the fast, they constantly think about food. They don't think about God. So instead of the food going in the stomach, it goes in their head. So the simple rule is, keep your stomach full and head empty. Then you can think of God. If you are all the time thinking about food, how can you prepare aloo ke parathe? No, we can take, you know, that uska atta, iska pita. If you eat straight away what is available and relax. See, all the time thinking about food, no. Therefore, the real spiritual practice is this, not torturing yourself. Third thing, we wait. What is the hurry for spirituality? Abhi to main jawan ho. So when Angam galitam paritam mundam dashana vihiram jatam tundam vruddho yati gruhitva dandam tadapi na munchati asha pindam. For us, spiritual practice is fulfillment of our desire. See, friends, that is not spiritual practice. Spiritual practice would have clarity, disidentification from the gross body. Unless this happens, no problem of this world can ever be sorted out. It is for this purpose only God gives pain to us. Whenever there is a pain, it is a signal that something is wrong, is it not? In the same manner, if there is a pain in the body, we start taking care of that. If there is a pain in our digestive system, pranamaya kosha, we start giving attention. In the same manner, if there is a pain in the mind, we have to start giving attention where from the pain is coming. And then we come to know it is only the body identification which creates the subsequent generation of the eyes. And then who is miserable is never the body. But after the body, the husband, wife, mother, father, in-law, outlaw, this is the Lord which is miserable. And we want to continue as a mother-in-law and to be happy. Is it even possible? So when the tortures are given by the daughter-in-law to the mother-in-law, it is, kind of a warning. Keep away and focus your attention on something higher. Instead of that, जस्सी के जैसी वो exchange में मिल जाए तो कितना अच्छा. Therefore, देहात अभ्यंतर प्राणः, प्राणात अभ्यंतर मनः. Then tadakarta tato bhokta. Bhokta is the experiencer, the one who is experiencing joy and sorrows. See friends, if you take a coin, every coin has got two sides. There cannot be one-sided coin. When we are actively involved in the world, it is like facing the coin outside, head. And when we gather the experiences out of these interactions, that is the other side of the same coin called as intellect. So extrovert intellect is the doership karta, and the subjective aspect of the same thought is called as the bhokta or the experiencer of joy and sorrows. And therefore, if there is no karta, there is no doer, there is no enjoyer. See? If I have not done anything, how the result of that karma will influence me? मैंने किया ही नहीं. See friends, therefore this karta, bhokta, they are like the twins. So when we are clear about these five aspects, so the real life starts happening from the Vijnanamaya kosha or the karta. The body is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. Prana is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. Mind is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. It is the karta and the bhokta. So, when this picture is clear, and now you sit for meditation. And if you sit for meditation and start doing meditation, your miseries are guaranteed. Because karta is born, I am doing meditation. So body is not having problem, but the karta, the doer is having problem. I can't sit for meditation for very long, My wife told me she can sit for 6 hours. I can't sit even for 10 minutes. What is the reason? See, sitting for 6 hours is not meditation. Because all buffaloes sit more than that. Similarly, somebody can do a lot of pranayama. Therefore meditation? No. Somebody is, all the time happy. Is meditation? No. It is only in the mind. You must have seen here also, those people must be here. This, morning time they go out of the house in a frustrated manner, go to the public park and create the noise pollution, laughing club. And come back home frustrated. And they imagine that they are happy. Whole life they are never smiling. And you love them, sometimes the danger comes out. That is not happiness, Maharaj. anomalies of the mind. Happiness is living at a zero complaint level. See? Then you are really happy. Therefore, tataha karta tato bhokta. So all the spiritual practice has got these two aspects. Number one, getting freedom from body, prana and the mind identification. One aspect. Second aspect, who is this karta and bhokta? Who is the doer and who is the experiencer? These two things together constitute the spiritual practice. And that is why, this Jnana Mudra which comes. Dakshinamurti Stotra, where there is a prayer, Jnana Shlokas, Maunam Vyakhya Pradita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varshishthante Vasadrushiganaihi Amrutam Brahmanishtam Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudramanandarupam. Chin Mudra. This is not a Naswar Mudra. है क्या? It is not that. This I, who is identified with the body, the prana and the mind, is now separated from that identification and surrendered at the effortlessness in life. Till we have efforts, we don't start our sleep. I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. The sleep has not begun. When the I and the effort disappears, sleep begins. See? And when sleep begins, then only we snore. Can anybody snore waking state? You cannot. Okay? And when you are totally effortless and without I, the snoring goes. Saptaswara. And those who snore, you must have seen, they are never in a hurry. Have you seen anybody snoring? They are slow. And the one who is awake, he run karo. So, when this I gets disidentified from the pranam, annamaya, pranamaya, manamaya, kosha and surrenders to the ananda, not anandamaya kosha, surrenders to the ananda, then alone the truth is revealed. It is not absolutely pure. Bharat Petroleum? It is not that. Therefore, tatak karta tato bhokta guha seyam parampara. Now we'll analyze further how each one of the kosha cannot be the self. See? Knowledge is gathered for two purposes. One purpose is to reject something and the second purpose is to accept something. So when it is said that cigarette smoking is injurious to health, it is printed on the cigarette packets. What is the purpose? Is it one of the design on the carton? It is a message so that you don't smoke. But what we do, when it is printed there, no, it is authentic. Take packet all there. That means cigarette smoking is injurious to health. This knowledge is not taking place. See, in the same manner, we also do the bhajan. Mera satta chitta ananda rupa koi koi. And we are miserable. See? So like cigarette smoking is injurious to health, does not create any knowledge in us. In the same manner, we simply say, Yehi vidhi rakhe Ram, Tehi vidhi rahiye. It has no meaning. See? So the one purpose of the knowledge is rejection. So here, when we are told Panchakoshas, this knowledge is meant for rejection. It's not, अब तो पता चल गया भाई अपन तो पंचकोश है छोटी मोटी चीज नहीं. It's not like that. It's not like that. So we have to take one by one kosha and reject which need not be gained because it was never rejected. So one aspect of the knowledge is for rejection, other aspect of the knowledge is for assertion, what we are. So here we will take first the Annamaya Kosha, the gross body. Pitru Bhuktanna Virya Jato Anne Deva Vardhate Dehasu Annamaya Natma Prapturdvam Tadabhavana. Now what is our gross body? First of all, our gross body is not created by us. But I am a self-made man. Self-made man, are you an amoeba? Binary fission you are born. So, our gross body is not made by us. Second thing, the gross body never listened to us. See, nobody can say my gross body listens to me. There are people who are Agarbatti brand and they have only one dream, I become fat. And they start eating directly the buffaloes and yet they continue to be thin. And there are other extremes. Their only dream is I should become thin. So they stop eating every kind of thing and once only while going somewhere they read Amul ice cream and 2 kilo bad gaye. Only by looking at advertisement they put on weight. Thus the body is neither created by us nor the body listens to us, and yet I am the Guru's body, intelligent. The further analysis, Pitur Bhuktan Jatya. First, the parents have taken food, and the essence of the food becomes the seed. See, when we consume the food, part of it goes into the formation of the tissues of the body, part of it goes for giving the energy to the body, part of it goes for making the seeds for the next generation, and the remaining unwanted metabolic byproducts are thrown out of the body. So, the essence of the food goes into the formation of the seeds, both for male and female. And thereafter, the two seeds come together in the womb of the mother and the zygote is born. The first, when these two things come together, the ovum and the sperm, is called a zygote. That is why children are called as kids, goats and kids. The children of the goats are called as kids. So, this is how the body is born. Further, when the body is in the womb, the body starts feeding on the food called as the blood of the mother. And when the body is thrown out of the womb, again it is doing nothing, only eating, eating, eating. If we die and go to Bhagwan, he will say, Surat wala, come. What did you do in your whole life? Me? I ate 7 truck loads of dokla. And then I ate 20 tons of khakra. Arey, banaya kya? Gobar, only one. So our whole body's function is only converting the sumptuous food into an awful garbage, nothing else. Therefore here, the body is born out of the essence of the food eaten by the parents. It is living in the food, it is maintained by the food, and when the body dies, it becomes the food for the next generation. And therefore, this body, prak urdhva abhavataha. Earlier this body was not there. Later the body will not be there. How can this body be the self, the Atma? This is the first basic error with which we are living our life. See, friends, unless this basic error is corrected, all that we do is sinful. In Valmiki Ramayana, this thought comes. There it is said, अन्यथा संतमात्मानम अन्यथा प्रतिपद्यते किम तेन न कृतं पापम चोरेण आत्मा अपहन. We are essentially divine. Anyatha santamatma. Anyatha pratipathyate. But we start taking ourselves to be the body. And the body, which is not ours. It is somebody else's production. It is something like you enter somebody's house on a rent basis and don't cover. Kya karna hai kar lo. In the same manner, we enter this body and start claiming the body is me and the body is mine. Can there be more sinful act than this? Kim tena na krutam papam. And who is this person? Chorena atma apahana. He is a thief. When we take away somebody's property, without his knowledge, he is called as a thief. When we take somebody's property with a gun point, he is called as a dacoit. We are all dacoits. Because the body is not created by us, not ours. And yet, our whole life we live as the body, for the body, on everybody. Therefore, his body was neither either earlier available nor it will be there. So, can the body which was not there earlier and will not be available will be the Atma? Because if I have done good and bad karma, it was not done by this body. This body was not there in the last life. And in the next life, if I am going to suffer, then this body will not be there to suffer. See, friends. So we have to come to this conclusion that we cannot be the gross body. And if you start working on this, then you are working in meditation. Meditation is not sitting in one particular posture and suffering silently. And when they get up, their legs are sleeping. And then they think, why I sleep partially? And they sleep totally. That is not meditation. They are the cartoons of meditation. So, Deha Saha Annamaya Narma Prapta Urdham Tat Abhavataha. And then the thought continues in the next verse. Purva Janmani Asat Etat Janma Katham Sampadaye Bhavi Janmani Asat Karma Na Bhunjideha Sanchitam. This body which was not there at the time when the last karma was done, so how this body will be born from out of absence? And when good or bad karma result will come in the next life, how this body will be there? It will never be there because it is already drawn. And therefore, the body cannot be the self under any condition. Now work on this as your meditation. Please remember, I am not in favor of doing meditation. Never do meditation. Instead of that, live in meditation. Do we do waking? First we are in waking and then do the things. Do we do dreaming? No, we are dreaming. And then you do good and bad things in your dream. Then do we do deep sleeping? No. We are in the deep sleep, then we snore. In the same manner, we have to live in meditation and then do whatever is thing to be done. See? That is what exactly spiritual life means. Otherwise, half an hour meditation, 23 and a half hours frustration. It cannot be spiritual life. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishayate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.